In a quiet neighborhood of Minneapolis, tucked among conventional early 20th century homes, stands a residence that speaks with a different voice, low, horizontal, and profoundly American. This is the Purcell-Cutts House, designed in 1913 by William Gray Purcell and George Grant Elmslie, a brilliant, accessible expression of the Prairie School movement. While Frank Lloyd Wright pioneered the form, Purcell and Elmslie humanized it, making good design not a luxury, but a possibility for the growing middle class. In the early 20th century, Minneapolis was a city of transformation, prosperous, progressive, and full of architectural potential. It was in this atmosphere that William Purcell, newly returned from working under Louis Sullivan, set up a practice with George Grant Elmslie, Sullivan's chief draftsman. Together, they believed that architecture should serve everyday people, not just industrialists and the elite, and that the Prairie Style could be more than monumental. It could be livable, elegant, and democratic. The house was originally built for William Purcell himself, his wife Edna, and their young son. It was meant not only as a home, but also as a statement of purpose, a built manifesto of what modern domestic architecture could be. Unlike Wright's sprawling prairie mansions, the Purcell-Cutts House was designed on a modest urban lot, challenging the architects to be creative with space, light, and budget. The result was a house that would influence countless modern designs, from mid-century modern to today's minimalist ideals. At the heart of Purcell and Elmslie's design was a commitment to the ideals of honesty, harmony, and craftsmanship. Their architectural philosophy emphasized horizontal emphasis and integration with nature. The house stretches outward, not upward, wide eaves, low-pitched roofs, and a plan that wraps around nature reflect the Midwestern prairie landscape. Open interior flow. Instead of closed-off rooms, the interior flows from space to space, light-filled, connected, and psychologically expansive. Art glass and natural light. Custom-designed windows feature colored geometric art glass that filters daylight into changing patterns, enriching the space while preserving privacy. Crafted simplicity. Wood, stucco, and tile are expressed with care, but without ostentation. Every joint, detail, and curve reinforces the idea that form should follow function, but also delight the senses. Democratic design. Purcell and Elmslie believed beauty should be for everyone. Their approach stripped away classical ornamentation in favor of clean lines, warmth, and human scale. Though modest in size, the Purcell-Cutts House is a masterclass in detail and livability. Exterior form. The house hugs the earth, defined by its stucco walls, broad horizontal lines, and banded windows. It both stands out and blends in, subtle yet modern. The living room. A double-height space filled with filtered light, anchored by a central fireplace and surrounded by built-in seating, bookshelves, and stained glass screens. It feels warm, open, and timeless. Dining and service areas. Thoughtfully scaled and connected, every element, from cabinetry to light fixtures, was designed as part of a whole. Function and aesthetic are inseparable. Bedrooms and balcony. Upstairs rooms are compact but filled with charm, light, and craftsmanship. A built-in balcony connects the upper level with the living space below, reinforcing spatial dialogue and openness. Integrated furniture. Most furniture was designed by the architects themselves, maintaining unity in materials, proportions, and rhythm throughout the house. Today, the Purcell-Cutts House is considered one of the finest surviving examples of Prairie School architecture. It refined Frank Lloyd Wright's ideas into a more intimate and accessible form. It anticipated the mid-century modern movement, with its emphasis on openness, light, and clean design. It served as a model for modern middle-class housing, proving that great design could be both affordable and meaningful. Now managed by the Minneapolis Institute of Art, the house is preserved not as a relic, but as a living classroom, where visitors can experience the power of space, proportion, and quiet beauty. The Purcell-Cutts House is more than a beautiful home. It is an expression of a democratic ideal, that architecture can serve all, not just the privileged. If you've been inspired by this journey into prairie design, subscribe for more cinematic stories exploring architecture that shapes how we live and how we dream.